Pushing down this handle, it takes a lot of effort to get it to go all the way down, and it doesn't spring all the way back up, which suggests that the spring in the door handle has gone. It still works to some degree, which means it's probably only one of the springs. This is fairly straightforward to fix. To remove the handle, it's simply a case of undoing these two screws. This door handle is quite unusual in only having two. Often there are four, one in each corner. It's simply the same approach. Simply undo all the screws and pull the handle off. Replacing the spring in the door handle is by far and away normally the greenest way of fixing it. The other approach would be to replace the handle itself. The problem with replacing the actual handle itself is that it's very unlikely that you'll get one that exactly matches. Most houses have the same door handles throughout, so it would mean that the handle on the door that's replaced is different to the rest of the house, which may or may not be an issue for you. However, it's certainly a lot greener just to change one component rather than just to change the whole handle. Now taking the screws out and removing the handle. Make sure you leave the door open, because without the handle it's obviously difficult to open and close. I'll take both sides out so I can show you the difference between a broken spring and a non-broken spring. Right, we've now taken the door handles off. Just pull this bit out. Now this one, when we pull the handle down, springs back. So that's all working fine. This one, there's no spring in it at all. So basically the whole door was working on this handle. So eventually that will put a lot more pressure on that spring and it will snap. So what we've got to do is take this apart and remove the spring. So there is a circlip here which we'll remove, then this piece of metal, and then the spring should be underneath. Now the tools that will be needed for this, these are a pair of circlip pliers. You can get them for £5-6 off of Amazon, and there'll be other places as well. And because these are springs, it's recommended to wear safety goggles, so I'll put these on now. Right, so to take this off, the circlip pliers have got 2 points. We need to get those into the holes in the circlip. So I've done that, and then depending on how your pliers work, you have to loosen it up and then pull it off. So that's what a circlip looks like, and that's it being removed. So just put that down. Right, the next thing is we've got this metal pad, so you should just be able to pull that out. Yep. And then we've got the spring, and as we can see it has snapped. So that's part of it, and that's the other part. So it was all together like that, and then obviously it snaps there. So we need to replace it. And there's all sorts of different springs for all sorts of different door handles. So we need to make sure we get the absolute right one. So, looking at this, there are 3 turns on that side, 2 on that side, and it's split in the middle. So that's 2.5 turns. So, looking at it, about 24, 25 by about 34 to that. And then how deep it is, again, this can be a bit fiddly, but looking at this, that's 2 millimeters. So I will be ordering a 2.5 turn, 2 millimeters deep, 24 millimeter wide door spring. These are available quite easily on the internet. Amazon does them, eBay. There's lots of different stockists, but the key thing is to make sure you get the right bit. So I'm going to go online now and look and order. Then we can come back when the springs have arrived and fit them. Now, whilst waiting for the springs to arrive, it could take obviously a couple of days, a few days, and we do need to use the door. So it was working on one spring before, so what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to go and put them back on. I'm going to reassemble this without the spring, so just put this in, put the circlip on it, go and put it back on the door, and hopefully this spring will hold out long enough until the next replacements arrive and we can fit it. Okay, so the springs have now arrived, so I'm just going to open it up and make sure they're actually the same size. So yeah, that looks like it's identical. So we can now look at start taking the handles back apart and fitting it. Now, because I've just taken these off the door again, this one has got the spring in and has been working the whole door handle. This one has no spring in it because the broken one is here in two pieces. And so this one I'm going to have to take apart again, fit the spring and then put it back together. Right, now taking it all apart, let's put it back together. So there was a washer, which I wasn't aware of before, which put that on first. Then we'll put the handle in. Now we can see where the spring went because there's a bit of a curve mark on the metal, but also I've looked at the other door handle just to confirm that. So fit that on and drop it so it's loose, and that part of the spring is in here. Now that's because for the door handle to work, it's got to be under pressure. So it's got to come down like that. Now, from that position, we then need to fit this piece of metal because this stops the spring popping up. So that goes on like that, and just push it in. And again, I'm always looking at the other one just to make sure I've done it right. Okay, so that is on. Now I need to fix it with a circlip. Now, just show you the whole. So there's the circlip. Here's the circlip pliers, and we'll put those 2 points into the circlip itself. So that's in. And now open it up and push it round. Then click and release, and then push it in. Yeah, I don't know if you heard that click. And that's in. And that's working. So this is from the inside. You can see it pulls down and flicks back up, and that piece of metal stops it spinning all the way around. And from the outside, down, up, like that. Right, let's go and fit them. Okay, so reassembling the handle on the door. I put the other side on, and there's the spindle there. Now going to attach the side where we've replaced the spring, which should just be a pushing on and then pushing together, and then just reattach the screws there, and then we'll see how it works. I've opened the door now, it feels a lot better. The springs are pushing up and it's no longer spongy. It's a lot faster response. It actually works really well. I hope you found that video useful. I'll be releasing other videos on DIY on an ad hoc basis, so please subscribe. Thank you for watching Eclectic Experience.